Hello there. Welcome to another episode of my Mr. Cynic series here on the Sensibly Cynical podcast. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so to give you a refresher, this is the show where I will do a pros and cons of a certain subject, and then at the end of the episode, I will pick a side. Today, it is the matchup of all matchups. Introverts versus extroverts. Let me go over the definition of each word. And of course, I am going to use my dear friend, the Urban Dictionary, for those. So, up first, introvert. An introvert is someone that prefers to spend time alone in order to recharge their inner being. An introvert may appear to be shy to others, but that is not necessarily an accurate label. Yeah, so basically, they may appear to be shy, but in reality, they just don't want to be around people. Like, they just don't want to be around you. Like, it's just you. Like, I know people that, like to stay home, have a beer, have a drink, whatever it is, liquor, wine. It doesn't matter. And then they have their circle of friends. If they're not hanging out with those group of people, they're home. They're watching TV, they're on social media all the time. Me. But no, so they're on social media all the time and stuff like that. And they just don't go ahead and party anymore. So they seem introverted. But sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes they may appear to be introverted, but when they're out with a group of people, they're extroverts. So it's kind of this weird dichotomy where, I think they intertangle some, but for the most part, introvert doesn't like meeting new people as much as extroverts do, obviously. So that brings me to the definition of extrovert. An extrovert is someone who recharges their energy from being around people. Yeah, so basically people that go to clubs, most of those people are extroverts and they're comfortable in their own skin to be able to buy overpriced drinks and try to woo people of the other sex or the same sex by giving them beverages. I'm just kidding, kind of. But no, so extroverts are people that just don't give a shit what other people think about them. They like to enjoy themselves. They're, a lot of them are on social media as, introverts and extroverts both are on social media. But I feel like extroverts, most of the time post openly. Like they're much more spontaneous, in my opinion. Maybe that's not the case, but being around people gives them energy. They want to live life. They want to be out and about. They want to take selfies. They want to do this. They want to do that. An introvert is someone that just is fine being in their own skin. And, if no one comes over to hang out for a week or a month, then so be it. I'm one of those people that when I'm around people, I like to joke around. I like to be the life of the party, because when I was younger, I was candid here. I was not the most popular person in high school. Definitely was not the most popular person in middle school. So when I actually got to junior and senior year, when I became kind of popular, I let my true personality, come free. And based on this podcast being around 3+ years into existence, well, partially because I'm bored and I like doing it, but I feel like I'm a chameleon because I live by myself in my apartment. So I like being alone. Being alone is okay with me. But when I'm around people, I'm an extrovert. So I think that there's a fine line between the two superficially. Like my friend XJX said on Urban Dictionary in 2014, an extrovert is a person who appears to be striking up conversation, but is really talking to themselves out loud. So they like to hear their own voice. That's a little cocky, but that's what extroverts are. They they like to hear their own voice. They're self-absorbed. That's, that's not the case on all extroverts, but that's the perception. And unfortunately in life, perception is reality. Reality is reality, but people's perception of extroverts are that they're egotistical, that they're in fraternities, sororities, and stuff like that. And an introvert's some slob that likes to order in. And so let me make my choice. To me, I much rather hang around an extrovert. I don't want to be around like people that just don't talk at a party or don't talk at a club or whatever. I want to be around people that won't be boring. Like, tell me about yourself. What do you do for fun? Let's get a conversation, because I go on dates, and if I am bored, it's a wrap. So I need dialogue. I need, someone actually being interested in having a conversation with me. And, I have to have some sort of engagement. So for me, I'm okay with someone talking about themselves and being a little egotistical, because at least that's better than not having any personality at all, like in my opinion. Like, I'm not saying all introverts have no personality, but I like the boisterous kind of person. I like someone that's externally confident. So with that, that's it for this episode of Mr. Cynic, the returning episode of Mr. Cynic. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I hope you enjoyed it. Coming up next, I will be joined by Josh from the Still Loading podcast. We will talk about some underappreciated classic video games. And also on the way is my interview with recording artist Live Chaos. I plan on being on YouTube more. I'm going to do some 3-minute videos on, pop culture news, maybe sprinkle in a little sports news, and it will be titled Sensible Views. What I'm thinking about doing is I may put some on, the main RSS feed here, but I think I'll just put it on YouTube and see what happens from there. I really think it'll be something fun for the podcast. Speaking of the podcast, we are on Instagram at Sensibly Cynical Pod, Twitter at Cynical Sensibly. Also, if you could please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes, I would be highly, highly, highly appreciative. That's it. Thank you for listening to this episode of Mr. Cynic. Please stay safe, mask up, and as always, take care.